What's going on, Bods? Welcome back to the Baud Fawk Sports Podcast. As usual, I'm Justin and I'm with Tarren once again.
What's going on, Bods?
Yeah, so it was an exciting weekend in the Premier League that just concluded. So I think we better just get right into it and talk about the Manchester Derby.
Yeah, if you'd like to start, it's your team.
Yeah, sadly it's my team, but yeah, we lost the Derby 2-0 at home to Manchester City. The worst stat of the day. Well, there's a lot of really bad stats, but we had 2 shots on De Gea and 1 shot on Ederson. We also had 4 touches in Manchester City's box, and I saw those 4 touches. They came on 2 separate plays. So yeah, it was really bad, terrible. City just dominated us. Ole has to go because those tactics are terrible. McFred played once again. There's so much disarray with the club right now. I'm just very, very disappointing. And I'm just sick and tired of this, man. I'm just so disappointed.
Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed too. I wanted to see a better game. I expected to see a better game. I usually expect Man United to step it up for those. But they kind of just took it. They just kind of sat there the whole game and just they invited the pressure, which is the worst thing to do against Man City. We did it against Man City and, we lost. So obviously not as bad as you guys. Because that was even though it was only 2-0, it was just kind of it's only because Man City didn't make it more, not because you guys didn't allow them to,
Yeah. And, De Gea was making some world-class saves. And for that second goal, I'm not even blaming De Gea. It's just the tip of the icing, I guess. But I was saying to one of my friends that in my 14 years or so of watching Manchester United play, I think Bernardo Silva's goal was actually the worst goal I think I've ever seen a United team concede. And I'm not just exaggerating it. That was horrific.
Luke Shaw deserves some blame.
Yeah, no, all the blame. He just switched off like that. And okay, I'm not expecting De Gea to save everything. He was having a great game. But the fact that how it went into on his end, it just was not a good look. And I'm just mad at Shaw, and I just don't get why he switched off. And it was just doomed from the start. And the fact that we played McFred against Manchester City, we saw against Liverpool, McFred lost 5-0. Now against City, like you said, it probably should have been more than 2-0. So it's these tactics, these formations. You could try any formation, any tactic, but if McFred is there, we're not going to win football games. I'm firm on that.
Yeah. The thing is, right, is I think you guys have really seriously screwed up now that Antonio Conte is off the table. The fact that he's gone to Tottenham now and you guys are still stuck with Ole, I feel like you guys are going to be stuck with Ole for the rest of the season because there's no true available replacement. Zidane isn't coming. He's not going to. So Conte was there. He was your best option. And he's gone. So I think you guys are stuck with Ole for at least to the end of this season.
Yeah, I was saying to my friends, I was obviously, like you said, Conte's not available. Don't think we could get Zidane. But honestly, I don't care who comes in. If it's me managing the team, if it's the U8 coaches, get anyone instead of Ole, because I know they're not going to play McFred. I don't know if you watch Sky Sports, but Roy Keane was saying if Ole were to walk in the studio, he would grab him by the collar and say, "Why are you playing Fred every week?" And Fred, I'm not going to sit here and say he's some washed player. He's terrible. He's still a professional footballer, but he's just not a Manchester United player. And I think the McTominay, a few years ago looked really promising, but I just don't feel he's got better. He broke into the team and I don't think he's really developed how I would want him to develop. So
you don't think he has that drive to make it? Well, I was going to say make it to the starting lineup, but he actually starts quite a bit. He doesn't have that drive to get much better. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I wouldn't even say it's on him because I initially thought he should get sent out on loan because he was just an average player for us. He was pretty good, got the passion. But to me, no, a young player can't get better in that system unless you're heavily talented, of course, which we could get to some of those players in a bit. But a guy like McTominay is not going to get better playing alongside Fred with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as the manager and his tactics. I just don't think it could happen. And it just hates me to say because like I don't want to like trash on Ole all the time, but like I can't defend him anymore. And like, like you mentioned, we do usually turn up in these big games against City and like Liverpool. Even we'll bring in Leicester because they're still like a top team, but like 4-2 to Leicester, 5-0 to Liverpool, and 2-0 to City. Like, where's the progression gone? Like, we haven't progressed anywhere at all. And like, if they thought last season was okay, then like, how is this going to be okay now? So I just think Ole has to go like now. I don't care for riding with the caretaker manager for the end of the year. I just can't do this anymore, man. Like I can't watch McFred play week in, week out when you got guys like Donny van de Beek who are just not touching the pitch at all compared to McFred.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I think it's because he's relying on them to be like a double pivot, and they're just neither of them are like a good six. So I think you guys definitely need a CDM in the January transfer window. That's a must. That needs to happen, and they need to be good. And honestly, I don't know what it's going to take, but I think your best bet is to go for Declan Rice. He has been so good at the beginning of the season. I think he would be like the perfect signing for you guys to replace McFred.
Yeah, like Declan Rice, he's been really good. But the thing about him now, which is on us, we weren't competent. Like, we wanted to wait it out. Declan Rice in the summer could have been 100 million. And that so would have been like a lot, but so would have been good. Now we can't get him for that. Now he would be worth like at least 130 just from the sounds of it.
Well, because West Ham are now like contending for top four, they're not going to get rid of him. And I don't think he's going to want to leave if they're contending for top four.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I think you and Chelsea, like us both, we both kind of messed up.
Yeah,
by not picking him up as soon as possible.
Yeah, and I remember people saying, "Oh, okay, he's gonna for Chelsea. He could maybe come next season." But like you just said, now that he's played almost half the season now, or a bit, maybe more like a quarter. But now that that's gone by, and West Ham are like still competing and whatnot, like you said, he might just want to stay and like ride it out. So yeah, I don't know. I think the person who I wanted was Phillips because I thought he did really good in the Euros, and he did already play with like Maguire. So did Rice, obviously, but Phillips as well as England international played with Maguire.
He'd be a lot cheaper.
Yeah, and he'd be cheaper. So that's who I wanted. And like, it's little things like selling Daniel James to Leeds United and not talking about Phillips. Like that made me upset as a fan. It's like, why did you not inquire or do anything of the sorts? So it just, McFred is just so bad to watch. And like, I would rather me and you play instead of McFred. Like, I would rather anyone. I'd rather my brothers play. Like, just anyone, man. Like, McFred isn't going to win us the Carabao Cup. We actually got eliminated from the Carabao
Cup. You guys can't win it anyway.
If we can't even compete in the Carabao Cup with this duo, how are we gonna compete for the league, or how are we gonna win Champions Leagues? So
Champions Leagues to win a Champions League, you at least need to make sure you get out of the group, which has been kind of a struggle for you guys. Cristiano Ronaldo is world class still. Pulled that last minute winner out of the bag. I thought the game was done, but Ronaldo, you can never like bet against him,
Yeah, he's very clutch.
Yeah, he's that guy that like everything could be going wrong the entire game, and out of nowhere he's gonna pop up and deliver a world class finish and save Ole's job yet again. But I just think, like you said, like there's no progression. And I think you guys are kind of. I just don't see. I don't understand why he won't play Van de Beek and Matic, and there are some times where he's not starting Pogba, and Jadon Sancho is 75 mil and just sitting there, And I know he started off slow, but you got to if your team is not playing well and you have this like world-class winger just chilling there. Why not let him play into his form so he can deliver for you? Like he's not going to get better by sitting there. And that's what happened with Van de Beek. Because when he does play now, he doesn't look good. And I can't blame him for that. Because how are you going to be good if you never play?
Yeah.
Training only means so much. An actual game is the only way you're going to like fully, become like the best player that you can be. If you're just sitting on the bench, you're not going to progress. So I think Ole is messing up. by not playing either of them ever. I'm not saying they have to be starters every week, but like subbing them on for like 10 minutes or like 5 minutes is just a waste of their time.
Yeah,
If that even
I
happens.
agree. And it's crazy too, because in the Atalanta game that you just mentioned, he brought on Donny and Sancho for like 5-10 minutes. I think it was like 5 minutes. And they were better in that 5 minutes. I know they don't play the same positions, but like they were 10 times better than McFred. And like Donny was way better than either of McFred. And like I don't get why, like you said, like what is Sancho doing for him not to play? Like even against City, we had Sancho and Rashford on the bench. What? Like what, like why is that a thing? Like it's not that difficult. Like you should just play Rashford, Ronaldo, and Sancho. It's not hard. Like that's why we brought them in. But I don't know what Ollie's thinking. I don't know what he's doing. And I think his man management with players has been like abysmal. Like I saw a report actually that I don't know if you knew this, but Harry Maguire came back from his injury 2 weeks before he was supposed to. And so his first game back was the Leicester game. And I remember there was a lot of questions about him. And I was even saying, yeah, like I know he didn't look good, but like he is still injured. And then Liverpool.
To be fair though, his mistakes were mental errors. They weren't like physical errors. I don't care how injured you are. There are just certain things that you just don't do. And he seems clueless at times. And I don't think that's because of the injury. I think that's just he just has like this random streak of just like forgetting where he's supposed to be. It's really shocking to watch. But yeah, he's rushing back. He's rushing back from injury because honestly, like Man U need it. And the way he's playing right now, I guess not. But if you think of like where Maguire can be, like his top performance, if he's playing like that, then Man U need that guy. Like they need him back. They need Maguire to be playing at the Euros level.
Yeah, I'm just so confused to like where, like just from a fan's point of view. I know it's Maguire and it's not like it's some scrub, but like if the doctor tells me, like if I'm the coach, the doctor tells me, yeah, Harry is only going to be good to go in 2 weeks, and we have a game versus Liverpool tomorrow. I don't know how he interpreted that as he needs to start right away. Because like, okay, you were right. Maybe like they were mental errors, but if he's still not fully fit to play, it's not like he's playing like Watford, like he's playing Leicester, who again, maybe not have been on their best form at the time, but are still a great team. And then Liverpool the next week. We don't even got to talk about Liverpool. Like we know what they're going to bring. So to me, it's like, I don't get how that was okay. I get he is the captain and I get we needed him. But like, I'm just so confused to why he thought that was a good idea. And to me, it's failed. Like I'd rather
I don't know.
Played Varane and Lindelof or Varane and Bailly.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it was Ole saying you have to come back or it was Maguire saying, nah, I'm ready. You know what I mean? Like it could have been either one because Maguire does want to play. He is that guy that will come back early from injury to try and save the team. Like he is your captain. You know what I mean? Like he wants you guys to do well. So it could have been him. It could have been him saying like, I need to come back now. You guys need me kind of thing. Or like you said, it could have been Ole just like rushing him back because he feels like his job is under pressure, which I think, you want to save your job. I get it. But if you're gonna further endanger your captain for that, like you're just setting the club up for failure in the future.
Yeah. So, and like we saw him do with Rashford. Like Rashford clearly was injured towards the back end of last season, and then he still was playing, and then he did decide to play the Euros. We didn't play that much in it anyways, but it's like we saw him do with Rashford and now he's going to do with Maguire. And it's like, like you said, Maguire can be very good for us. So it's like, how long is it going to take now for him to get back to that level? And like for me, it wasn't worth the sacrifice of us putting him in against Leicester and Liverpool at times.
Well, because he was bad.
Yeah, so
of course it wasn't worth it.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think Ole's time is up. Like, I don't care who we bring in. I don't care if Mike Phelan's the head coach for the rest of the year. I don't care if it's Michael Carrick. I don't care who it is. Like, I want, like, his time's up. And I can't, like, obviously, we should have got Conte. That should have happened, but it didn't. So can't dwell on that now. So find like anyone that they could find to be the caretaker manager for the rest of the year. I don't care. We could ride it out. We could just focus solely on the Champions League because at least we're first in the group and not now. So we could realistically make the group stages easily now. So focus on that. Stop playing McFred and just like change something because I just can't do this anymore with Ole as the manager.
Do you want Norwich ex-manager Daniel Fark?
Bro, if Ole got fired today and Fark was our manager for the rest of the year, I would be fine with that because I know he wouldn't play McFred. Bro, here's the thing. All of these managers, like, they play with what they have, meaning that, like, Norwich, I'm not going to, hate on their whole club, but they're not a good team. We know that.
I will. Their entire team suck. It's so bad. So, I'm surprised they beat Brentford. Shocking from Brentford, honestly.
Yeah. So Daniel Fark, he only has certain guys. If Daniel Fark had, oh my God, I have Pogba, Donny van de Beek, Bruno, even like Matic in the midfield, it's like, okay, I guarantee you he would work that out where McFred was not in the picture. Or like, okay, we actually could have like a defense that could, be competent, because I don't know what these tactics are with Ole. I think if someone like Fark or even the other manager who got fired today, Dean Smith from Aston Villa, like if those two had the United team, I think they would thrive actually compared to Ole, because I don't get why we play like we're scared. Like you mentioned, we just drop back the whole time and let City attack us and we try to counter it. It's like, that's how relegation teams play against Man City. That's not how United should play against Manchester City.
Yeah, no, I agree. You guys should honestly probably be in a 4-3-3. And obviously Ronaldo up front if you want to swap in Cavani for certain games, whatever. And obviously you can switch up the formation, but I think going up against the best teams, Rashford has to play. The fact that Rashford didn't start against Man City, I thought was like one of Ole's biggest mistakes I've ever witnessed, because Rashford is like, he is Man United. You know what I mean? Like he's your Man United boy, from the academy. He loves the club. So obviously he's going to turn up against Man City. Those kind of players, you have to play in the derby. Like,
yeah,
you can't just let them sit on the bench. And I thought also Sancho, like I said, he hasn't done much at the beginning of the season, but his former team was Manchester City. Those are the kind of players that you want to play. You know what I mean? Who knows if they'll turn up against their former team? That always happens. So
yeah,
I thought Sancho and Rashford had to start. And the fact that neither of them did was like, it just shows his just lack of knowledge, bro.
Yeah, and like, I look at that game and I think, damn, if only we had a player of like Marcus Rashford's ability or Sancho's ability to run at defenders. Oh, wait, we do. They're just sitting on the bench. It's like you got guys like Walker and Cancelo who are just living free during that game because we didn't have anyone to attack them. So they're just going down, whipping balls and hoping the best attacking. But then it's like, okay, we're now down to nothing. All right, now go make a difference. It's like, that's not fair to just, say to Sancho and Rashford, all right, now get on the field now that everything's gone to the worst.
Reminds me of Southgate in the Euros. It's like last minute of the game. He's like, all right, Sancho and Rashford, go on. Don't even have your legs under you and now take a penalty. Like, you just can't do that. You know what I mean? Like, you can't expect someone to come on with like almost no time and change the game for you. Especially with players like Rashford.
Yeah, like his decision making to, like, if Donny, Sancho, and Rashford were able to play in that game all at once, then why are they not starting? Because it's not like it was like, oh, okay, Sancho came on for Rashford, like we've seen, or like vice versa. Because I could see why it's hard to play them. But if they're all on the field at one time, why are they not just starting?
I think in a 5-back system, I think Van de Beek would thrive more because you have so many people sitting back. He could roam forward a little bit more. I don't see if you're gonna play 5 at the back, then I really don't understand the Fred and McTominay
exactly. Like I was saying the same thing too. It's like if we had 4 midfielders at selection for City's game and they were McFred and then Pogba and Van de Beek, I would bet the house that he would start McFred over Pogba and Van de Beek. Yeah. Yes, might not be balanced, but like you would rather just play Pogba and Van de Beek than McFred.
Even if you just did like either Pogba or Van de Beek and then either McTominay or Fred. No, it doesn't have to be like both, because Van de Beek and Pogba are more attacking, and McTominay and Fred, I don't want to say they're more defensive because they're really bad, but they do sit back.
They don't provide anything to the attack.
So not as much.
Hoping for the best.
So why don't you just play, like, let's say McTominay and Van de Beek?
And
Like,
another one too is Matic is 10 times better than McTominay or Fred. I get he's old now, but whenever he plays, everyone always says, "Oh my God, if we had prime Matic from his Chelsea days, we would win the league." Because it's like, it's true. Like, we have a CDM right there who's a veteran, but instead we're looking to play McFred. It's like, I would rather, what is he? I think he's 32. I'd rather 32-year-old Matic over.
Oh, I think Matic is way older than that, bro.
I remember when we got him, he was 29. So what was that? Like, so, okay, maybe he might be older.
I thought he was like 34, 35.
No, I think when we signed him, he was 29. I might be wrong, though. Or he was like 29 turning 30.
I thought he's 34 now. Let me find out. My bad. Okay, yeah, he's 33 now.
Yeah, okay, 33. So, yeah. But yeah, like, it just, I don't know. It's just really lazy stuff from the manager. And he will never drop McFred, which is the problem. Like, other managers, whether it's like Tuchel or Pep or Klopp, like, if players aren't playing well, they get dropped. Like, I love Wan-Bissaka, but like, if he was thinking, damn, like, Wan-Bissaka's not playing well, he would still get in the team. Like, if we're playing a 5 at the back, like, Dalot is a great right wing back to play as a 5 in the back, but I guarantee you that guy will not touch the pitch, like, at all.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't really understand it, man. Wan-Bissaka, like, let's talk about him real quick, because he's looked like not himself. Like, do you think there's any specific reason for it?
Like, it's a weird one with Wan-Bissaka, because I think, okay, this might be a weird analogy, but I don't think he hasn't looked himself. I just think Trent and Reece James have just looked amazing, and Cancelo in comparison, because like Wan-Bissaka versus Tottenham was like amazing. And
yeah, no, I agree. But like over the course of most games, he's been seeming to have more mistakes in the defensive end than he usually does. Because I've seen that guy literally clamp PSG's entire attack on his own. Like, I've watched him do that. And that's against like some of the best attackers in the world right now. Mbappe, Neymar, whatever, Di Maria, anyone you want to say, whatever. They're all class. I've seen him like just destroy world-class players. But there are times like this season where he's not, like, I don't know what it is, man. He doesn't look like he knows where he has to be or who he should be marking. It just looks weird to me. I'm not sure what it is.
And I think another thing, again, I'm not trying to just be that fan, but it's kind of similar to what I said about McTominay. Wan-Bissaka is still, like, he's a young player, like, he's not old, so he could still develop. And I just personally think that no matter what position you play, I just don't think you can develop as a player under Ole. Because since Wan-Bissaka came in, we both know how good he's been. Like, we both really appreciate his like.
I really like Wan-Bissaka.
And from a football point of view, it's like Wan-Bissaka should have taken the next step the same way like maybe Reece James has, and even Trent this season has looked pretty good, but he's taken maybe a step back. And I don't think that's his personal play. I just think because the tactics have been all over the place. Like, to have a terrible like tactician like that, it will affect your play. So again, like, I just don't think that like Wan-Bissaka will get better with Ole as the manager.
Yeah, no, I feel that. You guys definitely need a new manager, but I just think it does come down to his tactics and the way he manages, but also like the players. I can't blame everything on Ole. Like, the players also just haven't looked good, which in the past they have, even with Ole. You know what I mean? So I don't know if maybe that it might be like what happened with Jose Mourinho with Chelsea after, like, towards the end of his second time with us, where the players just, it's not that they're playing bad because of like Ole's tactics or like Jose Mourinho's tactics. It's because they're playing like they don't care because they just want him gone.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. That could be it. I'm not sure. Like, Ole is a way more likable guy than Jose Mourinho. So I'm not really sure if that's it. But I just remember, like, towards the end with Mourinho, you remember we came 10th. Hazard didn't want to play. Like, a lot of our players just didn't really care. Like, our best players that season were Willian and Zuma.
Yeah.
So that could be it right now. They just don't want to play for the manager anymore.
He doesn't seem like he's a boss, if that makes sense. Because like, I feel like a boss would be like, okay, no, we conceded 5 versus Liverpool. Let's make a change. And we proceeded to do the exact same thing. And like you said, he's a really likable guy. So I highly doubt anyone, like in my opinion, if you actually have a falling out with Ole, then I would probably be on Ole's side and say no. Like, what, like, come on. Like, I will give him that. He's a very nice person. You could tell he just loves to play.
Nice.
But like on the flip side, it's like if I'm like guys like McFred, let's say, like I know my spot's guaranteed in the team. And it's like that's just because of Ole. Like I know you could put on a stinker like Liverpool, and look, they're still in the team today. But like I feel like if Tuchel or Pep even or Klopp, just to name some managers, I think if they were the manager of United and we lost 5-0, I genuinely believe that you wouldn't see McFred play together ever again, as long as that person was in charge. Unless there was like some injury crisis, I would get it. But I generally don't think that other managers would make the same mistakes.
Yeah, no, I Tuchel definitely wouldn't. But at the end of the day, you guys don't have a lot of options as a DM, so I understand having to play one. But both together, it just doesn't work. The fact that he hadn't seen that, it's kind of sad.
Yeah,
but
and Pogba and McTominay would be like, I would personally be fine with that. Not Pogba and Fred though, but like Pogba and McTominay, that would work because
I think Fred just sucks. Like I think
he's just in the wrong system too. And I think Danny Alves it was ludicrous because Danny Alves said that Fred was better than Bruno and Pogba when he plays for Brazil. God. But on the flip side though, yeah, like Fred does perform for Brazil because he's in like a better system that suits himself. That's why I'm not like
he's usually beside Casemiro. Who can actually do the defensive work.
Yeah. So it's like I don't want to be like that United fan that just says, oh, Fred out, Ole out, McTominay out. But like on the flip side though, like Fred will never thrive in this team. Like never. I just don't see it. I think it's too far gone. If Fred was brought in to do a different role, then I would say, okay, there's a chance. But I've seen too much of it now. Like Fred had a really good individual season for himself. The first year we got him, I would say, we kind of had an identity with the team. And then, when Ole came in, we kind of switched up the managers and all that stuff. I think he should have been a player that was like, okay, yes, he was brought in for like a high price tag, but like it's over, like it's chalked. Like we gotta move on from you. You can still be on the team, but like you're not gonna be that starter anymore. But
yeah,
here we are in 2021, still talking about McFred. So
yeah, you guys just need a replacement. That should happen this January. If you guys are serious about like a title challenge, you guys will either get a Declan Rice, a Calvin Phillips, a Tchouaméni, like that kind of defensive hard worker. I thought Ndidi maybe for you guys would be a good pickup. Obviously, he's kind of injury prone in the last couple of years, but you guys need someone there.
My bad.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, like I would love to see a Palhinha from Portugal play for United. He had a great. I feel like for himself when he played, he had a great Euros. And like, okay, I'm not saying we ought to sign the Portuguese national team, but like we have Bruno and Ronaldo to make that happen. Like Bruno literally told us, yeah, like I heard the club wanted Ronaldo, and I had already been texting him for months. It's like there are certain things where it's like, oh, Palhinha had a sick Euros. And he's gonna be, cheap at the time because he didn't even play that much. It's like, Bruno, you should like get it. It's like, yeah, for sure. But instead, it's like we're not competent like that. And like I feel like, that's not an Ole thing. That's more of like a board thing because he can't control the transfers. So I'm not even taking a shot at him. But like I'm hopeful that we will get a January signing. But I know because of our owners and the board and all that stuff, it won't be to help the team. It'll be to sell shirts. Like Ronaldo's signing obviously was to help us, but you know how much money they made off him?
Oh my god, so much.
So it's like, yeah,
it probably paid for his transfer and his weekly wage. Just what they got off the shirt.
Yeah, it probably did. So it's like, I just feel like right now, whether it's Ole or the management or the board or the owners, like we're just in such disarray when it comes to actually helping the club. So that's why I just think that the first step needs to be getting a new manager. And like, thank you Ole for everything that he's done so far. But like, I don't care who it is. Like I said, it could be me, it could be the U8 coaches, it could be the local PE teacher from Manchester High School.
Daniel Fark, bro.
Yeah, Daniel Fark, could be Dean Smith. Like whoever it is, just get someone else in. Like there has to be a change.
Apparently, Lampard is in the running for the Norwich job.
Oh,
Which
you're gonna say for the Manchester United job, and I was gonna be like,
no.
oh my god.
Yeah, no, you guys don't want Lampard right now. I still think Lampard has a lot to learn as a coach.
Yeah,
I don't want him to go to Norwich because it's gonna make him look worse than he genuinely is at coaching. Like he's not that bad of a coach.
yeah,
It's his downfall is over exaggerated at Chelsea. We're ruthless with managers. That's just how we are.
yeah.
Even with our club legend, our best player ever, we didn't even really give him a fair chance. Yes, we were in ninth. We were 4 points off the top four. So I don't think he's actually genuinely that bad. But if he went to Norwich, he's gonna look quite bad because Norwich just suck. So
for real.
I hope he doesn't go. But yeah, you guys need someone new. I thought you guys messed up by not getting Conte. And the fact that you guys beat Tottenham and they were saying they technically won is just sad.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but you know, he just got outclassed against Pep. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, but anyway, so I just think on the topic of Chelsea, I think we gotta dive in, bro, to that 1-1 result. I think you could take the floor here. So what went wrong against Burnley?
We didn't take our chances, man. We had so many like clear chances in the box. Cho had an amazing chance. Terrible finish. Keeper, but an easy save. We had multiple chances in the box, even outside the box. We didn't capitalize on. We had an insane amount of shots, an insane amount of possession, like we usually do. But we're missing Werner and Lukaku. It's so clear. Havertz, there's something about him, but like when he's in front of net, he makes amazing runs. I will always say Havertz makes some of the best runs in the league. He makes like to get him behind. There's a reason he scored the Champions League winning goal like that. You know what I mean? Like running and past the keeper. He makes insane runs, but when he gets to that position, it's like he doesn't even look up to where the keeper is to shoot. He just shoots, and it's like I know he can do better. I've seen him do better, but he gets a one-on-one with the keeper, and he just shoots it and just kind of like hopes that the keeper doesn't save it. Look up for a sec. You know what I mean? Like pinpoint where it should go, not just let me kick it to the left or the right and just pray that it goes past him.
Yeah,
you're not going to score like that. So we have a lot of chances like that just get wasted. I just think I thought Mount should have came on earlier. I know he's coming back from an injury, and I heard he's having he has like a wisdom tooth infection or something. So he's not feeling really well. So I understand, but he should have came on earlier. We were looking just kind of stale for a bit. We were just passing the ball across the field, kind of waiting for an opening. And I'm thinking after, like towards the end of the game, there was like 5 minutes left and it's 1-1 and we're just passing it like this, like from Chilwell, from the defense and the midfield over to Reece James. And it's like, they did that for 2 minutes without even trying to swing it. I'm like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, I know there's no Lukaku to try and get it to, but try something. Like, just whip it in. You know, especially with Reece James, like, he's been like really good at passing the ball and crossing it recently. Get him. That's how we scored. You know, across into to Havertz. So I think we're missing Lukaku, and we didn't take our chances. And it was a rare slip up defensively. It was almost like a FIFA game. You know those ones where you're dominating the opponent?
Yeah.
And then they go on a counterattack and they score their first chance? Basically, that's what happened. Thiago Silva and Rudiger weren't in the best position and slow at getting back. Mendy had no chance. Like, I don't blame Mendy at all. It was a sweat. There was nothing Mendy could do. I just think we just got stagnant and just kind of assumed that our defense will clean up anything when you can't just expect that. Obviously, they're going to slip up eventually. So giving away the ball at stupid areas and just not getting back on time, not taking our chances, and I think the wrong subs and the wrong timing. Like I said, Mount should have came on earlier. Ross Barkley didn't look amazing throughout the entire game. So I don't know. It wasn't. I'm not super upset.
Yeah.
We still got a point, but we deserve that win for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like I said last week, bro, like it always bloody Burnley. Like they always have to give that game. And I think it was Vidra who scored. I was like, damn, I can't believe like they really tied it up. So yeah, did you think Burnley deserved the point, or did you think
No,
they just
no, we deserved like a solid like 3 goals at least.
Yeah.
We just didn't take our chances. If we took like a really good chances, the one that we like really should have scored, score should have been like 3-4-1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know why I expect better from forward players, you know?
Yeah.
It's not good enough to just put the ball on target. Pinpoint where you're going to shoot it. Look up, you know? Like I said, Cho, he was in the box, clear chance, and shot it like right beside the keeper. Like the keeper didn't have to do anything to save it. If I was in that position, I could have scored.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. So I just thought, just got to take our chances better. And I think when Lukaku comes back, we will. But yeah, we're just missing him right now.
Yeah, does Chelsea have a timetable for when Lukaku's coming back? Do you think he'll be back after the break, international break? Or?
Probably after the break. I thought it was like a month.
Yeah.
But they might have done an update. I'm not sure. I know Werner's out for longer than Lukaku. I think.
Yeah, it could be a huge loss, Werner not being there, because even if Lukaku gets back, what if, Mans are just failing to create? But yeah, I think Lukaku has definitely been a big miss. He's been one of the best strikers in the world the last couple of years. So I think any team that has Lukaku and then doesn't, they will see that. And I just think, yeah, like you said, that was just a game where it's like, Havertz and Cho, they're not as sharp as Lukaku in the box, clearly. Mm-hmm. And just in general, when it comes to scoring goals. So, if Lukaku's there, probably would have had a hat trick, but he wasn't.
Yeah, but even with just him being there, he draws so much attention that it allows our other players to get into better positions. Yeah. So even if he was just there, like I thought we would have, but it's not really about the chances. It's about the finishing. So yeah. Lukaku is the guy we need right now. We had so many corners where I just thought if the shine was there, that was a goal, I think we had like 10, 11 corners in that game. So I don't know. It was kind of disappointing. I was yelling at the screen. I was frustrated because everything was going well, and then they go down, and I see them like getting towards the goal, and I started losing it, man. I was frustrated because you don't see defensive lapses in Chelsea very often. And that was clear. They were just too far up the pitch. They were trying to get people forward to get the extra goal, and it cost us.
Yeah, no, for real. I think, just an unlucky game. Those games do happen. Trust me, I'm a United fan. I know all about those ones. You just dropping points at home to a lesser team. But I mean, at least on the flip side for Chelsea and their ambitions, Liverpool did lose.
Yes.
West Ham. So I think, that was a big talking point of today. West Ham just, they're just looking like
last game.
Yeah.
They deserved it. Like they played well. Like Liverpool also played well. They had good chances. Mane had a really good volley.
Yeah.
That he just misplays. But like West Ham, they're good, man. David Moyes. He's class.
Yeah, I mean, David Moyes. But seriously, though, I think West Ham have been. I wouldn't even want to call them the surprise of the season. I think West Ham have been doing what I think in a way United should be doing. They've progressed because last year they were looking good, but they were kind of on the cusp. I know they did qualify for the Europa League, but now it's like, okay, now they're balling out and they seem like a serious team. And West Ham away, even though it is Liverpool, it's not like now you could tell it's not an easy fixture because they did win. Kurt Zouma did score, would be the winning goal, so that was good. I know as a Chelsea.
That made me so happy.
Yeah,
I love Kurt Zouma, bro.
Yeah, so
He
yeah,
clearly loves Chelsea.
yeah. So I think the Liverpool result, I think it speaks more about West Ham than it does Liverpool because I think it really shows the character that team have, the belief that they have. Moyes has been having a really great time being their manager, and that's just a huge result for them. So
yeah,
they got Declan Rice balling out. Just feel like everyone around them, and this is Mark Noble's last season, if you didn't already know. So who knows? What if West Ham win the Premier League on Mark Noble's
last dance?
That would be crazy.
Yeah, no, not gonna happen.
Yeah.
I did have them getting into the top 6 this year again. But I didn't predict the top 4 challenge because I thought Man United with Ronaldo, no way. You know what I mean? But now it's not looking great. I genuinely thought Man United were going to be second this year. I predicted Chelsea, Man United, Man City, Liverpool. And now you guys are below Arsenal.
Depressing. But hey, enough. Let's not talk about that dusted club. But yeah, no, West Ham, feel like they've proven a lot of people wrong. Might have had preseason worries about them, but I think the balance that they have of playing Europa League and the Premier League, they've still done fantastic. They've knocked United and City out of the Carabao Cup. So in the last, I think 5 tournaments, those have been the only 2 winners. So they knocked them both out back to back. So they could even compete.
Yeah, well, I think Pep has won that 4 years in a row or something.
Yeah,
and then knocked them out. So
and then the one before that was United. So but yeah, so yeah, I mean, it's just crazy because I never would have thought West Ham would actually be excelling, and I just don't see anything really slowing them down right now. It would be cool to see them win Europa League or even the Carabao Cup.
They're doing good in the qualifiers. Not the qualifiers, the group stage.
Yeah, so I mean, you never know. The sky's the limit for West Ham. And the thing that you can tell is that they're playing like a team that almost has like nothing to lose because the West Ham fans don't go in every season thinking, we need to win like the treble. So they're taking anything that they could get. So there's an inspiring win for them. And they beat Liverpool. So that kind of makes me happy despite our loss yesterday.
I thought that specific game against Liverpool just showed the level that David Moyes is on compared to Ole. Like, the fact that he got them up and ready for that game against Liverpool, who look like a top team in the world, to go out there. I know it's at home, but like to go out there and perform like that, believing that you can truly win. You didn't see that from Man United, Yeah. You don't see that from most teams playing against Liverpool because Liverpool are just like, they're just going to pack on the heat. They're going to constantly attack you. I would like to just say quickly, we've joked about it in the past when people say, that Trent goal. I think this is the new that Trent goal.
Yeah.
I think that other one has to be scrapped. That was such like, I don't know why everyone loved that.
The Leicester one, yeah.
This goal though, beautiful strike, man.
Yeah.
Like unstoppable. And Trent is he's showing his true class. And it's like him and Reece James, deciding who should start for England between them is going to be hard.
I mean, it won't be that hard for Southgate because he's just going to pick Kieran Trippier.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Southgate's just going to play Trippier.
Yeah. Like he's going to see these two having the best seasons of their lives and look at 31-year-old Kieran Trippier. He's been on the bench. You know what? That's what we need. So, yeah, no, on a serious note, though, yeah, you're right. I mean, the thing I love about Trent as like an England fan is that, I'm not saying Reece James can't because he has also done this too, but like Trent can play in the midfield. And I think, I don't want to have a dilemma where they're both where only one of them could play. So I truly think they could both play at the same time. Like, I don't know how we're going to do it, but
because both of them are very versatile, like, either, like you could play Trent in the midfield, you could play Reece James in the midfield, you could play Reece James at center back, because Reece James used to also play center back for our under 21s.
Yeah,
and he's strong enough to do that. He's big enough to do that. If you guys are doing a 5 at the back, I wouldn't say in a 2,
Yeah.
Obviously, John Stones and Maguire. But if you're doing a 3 at the back, why not Reece James at right center back? He could definitely do that.
Yeah.
Or, like you said, Trent in the midfield or Trent further up the pitch or something. But I think they both have to play. It's the way that they've been playing. It's been world class. Both of them.
I think their biggest fear, and see, this is so annoying because like we're talking about all the big teams as English right backs, but like for now, Wan-Bissaka isn't in that conversation. But I think Kyle Walker for me, like I know how great obviously Stones. I know how great Trent and James have been, but I'm still a big Kyle Walker guy. I know he didn't have the best like Euros, but I still think right now it's his spot to lose. So what I think might end up happening, which it might be unfortunate, but I could truly see James or a Trent missing out because I think he's gonna take Walker, and I think if he's available, I honestly think he's gonna take Trippier. That's one thing about Southgate, similar to Ole, that they have their favorites. And I just think that like I don't really see him dropping Trippier because I think he's gonna use an excuse of, all right, it's either Reece or Trent, not both. Like that honestly might happen, and I hope it doesn't happen because Trippier could just go back to Madrid. Like I don't want.
At least play one. I know. Yes, Kyle Walker is class. Like he's really good. I understand, but if you're just like you got to base it on current form sometimes.
Yeah,
and I know Southgate doesn't really do that. That's why we were all surprised to see Raheem Sterling starting. He was actually good though, so I guess like good move by Southgate.
Yeah.
But you got to go based on current form for certain players. If Reece James is playing, Reece James and Trent are playing like the best right backs in the world, like clear. You want to say Hakimi, but he plays in the French league, so I'm not going to give him the credit that I'm going to give Reece James and Trent. So those two are probably the best right backs in the world. Probably, right? They at least one of them have to play.
Yeah.
You can't have another situation where, you have some of the best like players sitting on your bench, which is what he did, like Sancho constantly on the bench, and then, Reece James. And you got to give him a chance. So maybe not in the World Cup, but at least in the qualifiers, try them out. If they're not good, if Kyle Walker's just clear for England, then okay. But you got to try them out.
Yeah, no, for real. I think the dilemma that I have as an England fan is that I wouldn't want like one to play over another. I would, like you said, I want both to play because I don't want us to be in a situation where it's like, we need a Reece James on right now, but we can't take off Trent. Or like, we need Trent's creativity, but like we can't take off Reece James. So I definitely think, he needs to do something. I would prefer it to be Reece James at the right and then Trent in the mid. Obviously, Reece James is good in the mid as well, but that's what I prefer if they were both to play at the same time. So I think that's what Southgate should do. I don't think he should sacrifice one talent because the other one is like just as good. So that's what you should do. I think you should take.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think they're both like class. It's just if you go to a 5-back, he's probably going to put Kyle Walker at right center back.
Yeah.
Instead of Reece James, and if he's gonna play in midfield, like Declan Rice has to be in. Declan Rice, if Southgate like legit went in and didn't play Declan Rice, that would be one of the biggest. He played him in the Euros, so he has to play him.
Yeah.
Declan Rice is a lock, and then you have Henderson, who's healthy now.
Yeah.
Who's like the captain. So it's hard for Reece James or Trent to get into the midfield unless he does 3 in the midfield. But you could also just see him going back with Calvin Phillips.
Yeah.
Or Mason Mount he always wants to play Mason Mount. He likes Mason Mount. There's just so many talented players on England.
Yeah.
That it's hard to fit in Trent and Reece James, especially with the biases that Southgate has. Like you said, he could end up just going out and playing Trippier anyway, and just both of them just end up sitting on the bench. Yeah. So I think one is better than none.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the same way. I would rather have like at least one of them, whether they're starters or on the bench or just reserve players. Like I'd rather have one than none on the team too.
And I think Luke Shaw. I know he was really good for England, but Chilwell has to get a chance. He's
Yeah,
been elite for us.
yeah. It'll
And
depend on how, like you mentioned, like how Southgate does his systems. And like, I would have liked to seen more of Chilwell in like the group stages of the Euros, because we got a chance to see him actually play for England. But I
at
don't
least against Ukraine or something.
yeah, like I don't want to be too reactionary when it comes to changing up everything for Southgate, because then it'll be like his worst doing, because if he hypothetically like takes like Chilwell and like isolates Shaw, I'm not saying he will, but like I don't want Chilwell to be like bad right coming into the system. So I think definitely guys like James and Chilwell need to get chances that they didn't already get. Like for sure.
I just think if you're going to do a 5 at the back, if he does that, I think you got to try Reece James and Chilwell, because that's what they do for Chelsea, and they do it at a world class level. Try them. If it doesn't work, okay, but the fact that Chilwell did not touch grass once for England in the entire, like, why even take him? Because it hurt his confidence. That's why he didn't play for us at the beginning of the season. Tuchel said like it hurt him mentally. Like and you have to think he had just won a Champions League as a starting wing back, and he played really well for us. To win the Champions League and be a quality like fullback and not even get a chance in the Euros, it's going to hurt you mentally. So I think he deserves a chance, at least at a 5 back. If you don't want to try him, he can play left back. But if there's a left wing back position and you don't even try him, that's just shocking.
Yeah, no,
But I think Southgate sucks. So
yeah, Southgate, he's whatever, man. I can't hate on him too much because he got us to the finals, but it's here nor there. But yeah,
he's honestly just like, he's kind of like Ole.
it's a great analogy.
He'll get you to the finals, but you're not going to win with him.
Yeah,
And he also plays really crappy players just because he likes them.
yeah, for real. But yeah, anyways, moving on. I think one person we got to talk about is Antonio Conte.
Yes. Our last episode, we were saying like, who's going to get Antonio Conte and how long is Nuno going to last? And literally just after we uploaded, boom, Nuno sacked.
Yeah, he got sacked like that morning or whatever it was. So
yeah,
that was funny. But I mean, Antonio Conte, world-class manager, had a great career, but it's Tottenham. I personally don't see him winning. Nothing against him personally, but it's generally just as Tottenham. Like
apparently they have 100 mil to spend this January.
That'll be interesting. I think Conte, he's a manager where you know what you're gonna get. He's a winner, serial winner. He has a system, a trademark system at this point, I would say. So it's a matter of like there needs to be a proper connection between Conte and the Tottenham board for stuff like that. Like if you're saying he's gonna get 100 mil, then that's good. Like he's gonna need that to succeed, because he could bring in I feel like if he knows who he needs to get to fill in these positions, he will succeed. But now it's Tottenham.
Because I think they have some good pieces, but they have some really big holes.
Yeah.
I think, I think Conte, he can get the best out of strikers. I just don't think he can out of Harry. I think Harry Kane is just too far gone. I think he wants out too bad. I don't think this Conte appointment is going to help him enough.
I don't think it would either, to be honest.
Yeah, so I think maybe bring in a forward to play, right? Like a quality one. I'm not sure who they'd get. A forward, maybe probably a midfielder. But we've seen Conte get the best out of players. He's done it with Lukaku, did it with Victor Moses, Marcus Alonso. He can get a lot out of lesser players. Not that Lukaku is a lesser player, but he can do big things with this Tottenham team. They did just tie to Everton, who Everton suck recently.
Yeah, and they had 10 men at one point in the game.
Yeah, so I don't think he's gonna do anything this season. Like he'll probably qualify for Europe, but like okay, but like if he gets the right investment this January, next summer, I could see them maybe winning like a domestic trophy. They're not going to go for the Prem, and they're not going to go for the Champions League, but they could win like a Carabao Cup or an FA Cup to end their drought.
Yeah, like I would say this year, I think they've got to win the Conference League at this point.
Yeah.
Because it's such an embarrassing league. Like, I don't know why. Like, it's only there because of money. And like Tottenham, as you know, even though they are Tottenham, they do have Conte now. They have Harry Kane, Son. Like, they have players that could win that league or tournament, I should say.
Yeah.
So I think
Romero.
they should focus on the Conference League with Conte.
Yeah. That's fair. They should win that, honestly. If they don't, that's a big disappointment.
Yeah, no, true.
But yeah, they have like good players in certain positions. I just think they need more big players. You can't rely, because Harry Kane isn't really that guy anymore. So they just have Son, who's like a big name. Like Romero is class, not like that top tier though. You know, Lloris is a serviceable keeper. You know my thoughts on Lloris. I absolutely despise him, but even though I'm French, I can't stand him. But he's not really that guy anymore. He's kind of like on the end.
Yeah.
They got to fill some positions. I think Conte can do it. It's just, is he going to get the right support? And are the players going to buy into his system? Because we've seen with these Tottenham players, they'll buy into a system, but only for a certain amount of time before they start getting fed up. And it's a very short period. So we'll see. If they're not winning games right away, are they still going to buy in?
I mean, yeah, I'm like I said last football episode, I'm not high on Tottenham at all. You know, Harry Kane was the only person who I really like on that team, and Lo Celso, obviously, but
Son,
I hate Son, as you know.
Wow.
Yeah, I know he's this likable character, but no. So I'm not high on Tottenham. I don't think Conte's appointment is going to bring them to the next level because it's Tottenham. You know, Antonio Conte might be one of the best winners we've ever seen in our generation, but I don't think he could win with Tottenham. I just don't think Conte could really elevate Tottenham, and it's not because of him. I generally just think it's because of the club and the players and everything else involved.
Yeah, no, he's shown he's a world-class manager with Chelsea, with Juventus, with Inter. He's clearly like a top manager in the world. It's kind of crazy. I think the Premier League probably has like 4 of the top 5 best managers in the world currently.
And you know, it's kind of funny that the one team that doesn't have that manager is Manchester United. But yeah, no, I actually completely agree because, you know, we've seen him do it at all those clubs you said, even at Italy too, before Chelsea signed him. I remember watching Italy and I thought, okay, his system is like actually really good. And then I remember he came in and he brought in guys like Alonso and he kept Moses. Remember, we even joked about like Alonso, like, damn, he's like a big signing. But Conte made Alonso like the best left back in the Premier League that season.
Yeah.
And, you know, look at Moses. Yeah, Moses.
Victor Moses looked like the best fullback in the world at one point. He was so good for us. It's crazy.
So I think the Conte era will begin when Harry Kane is gone, because I think, you know, right now, Tottenham is Harry Kane's team. Like, that's him, despite him not doing good. But I think if he leaves, you know, I know you mentioned the January window. I think even if he does go into the summer, I think he will leave. I don't see him playing another full season. So
I'm not saying he probably will go in January. I'm just saying like he probably should.
Yeah, but the thing about Harry Kane is because of how big of a name he is, I think the only team that would really get him in January would be a team outside the Premier League. And I don't see there being a big suitor for that, because like Bayern wouldn't need to get him because they got Lewandowski. No way he goes to PSG. Like, no way. You know, but don't think
they could be looking for the Mbappe replacement though, to be fair.
That is a good point.
Because Mbappe is gone after the season, which makes me so happy. Yeah. I would love to see him at Real Madrid. I'd also love him to come to Chelsea if he wants to, you know. No complaints. We are the current Champions League winners. But he's gone to Real Madrid. So they could be looking for the replacement. He does play striker for them.
Yeah.
So maybe. But yeah, like you said, probably in the summer. Hopefully in the summer for his sake, for Tottenham's sake. It's crazy. It's
I
crazy
would
that
rather,
he is so good.
yeah, I know. And like I'm thinking too, like I would rather him play the whole year because imagine the scenes if he leaves in January and then Spurs win the Conference League. Like I know it's a Mickey Mouse trophy, but it's still a
That
trophy.
would be so funny.
I
That
know.
would be hilarious.
Yeah. So like the first trophy ever. Well, okay, I should say ever. The first trophy in over 5,000 days for Tottenham. Like they have to win it with Kane if he's gonna be there. So I think maybe for that reason he'll stay. Like he'll want to try and win the Conference League. So at least maybe do like a B Tech Hazard and leave on a decent note before. But like yeah,
I think the funniest thing would be if he stayed and then they lost in the final. That would make me so happy.
yeah, then it would be like, all right, it's time to go.
Because Tottenham they're just bottlers. So it would be funny if they got to the final and lost. It would also make me happy to see Conte fail at Tottenham because he was genuinely like probably like one of my favorite managers of all time.
Yeah.
I loved his time at Chelsea. Won us the league his first year, brought us out of turmoil, won us an FA Cup, and I think he won Europa with us. Pretty sure.
I think Sarri won Europa League with you guys. That was his first ever trophy.
Yeah.
So
But his second season, maybe it was just the FA Cup his second season.
Yeah.
But I loved Antonio Conte. But as soon as you go to Tottenham, all my love for you is gone. I just
like a deal breaker no matter what. Yeah.
I can't. It's like remember we were talking about Ronaldo potentially going to Man City.
Yeah.
Like yes, you're a club legend, but you just can't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like Mourinho when Mourinho went to Man United. I was like, okay, fair. Like for what he's done for us, I'll give him the pass. No worries. I get it. You can't go to Tottenham though. Once he went to Tottenham, I don't care about Mourinho anymore. It just doesn't matter to me.
Do you think maybe that this is a genuine question here? Do you think maybe a manager like Conte or Mourinho, who, like you said, had success in the Premier League with Chelsea, do you think they went to Tottenham because maybe they want to, like Mourinho at least, he want to bring them to greatness as like a personal achievement? Because I'm not saying it would have, but let's just say hypothetically, Spurs win that final against Man City. I think because of the impact that it would have had on the club, like that would have been right up there with one of Mourinho's proudest moments of his career, I would say.
I agree. It was probably like for Mourinho, especially maybe not Conte, but for Mourinho, it was definitely like a personal achievement thing.
Yeah.
But that's basically what his whole career is. He's more focused on like proving to everyone that he is that guy.
Yeah.
He's the special one.
Yeah. So you're saying like, even though it's Mourinho, you're saying like as a Chelsea fan, just no love because he went to Spurs, even though
I don't care. I don't care what your personal motivations are to make you look like a great manager.
Yeah.
You are Chelsea's greatest manager of all time, and you still are. Like he still is.
Yeah.
And you can't go to Tottenham. You cannot. It's like it's probably the worst thing he could have done. I'd rather him go. You can't go to Arsenal either, but I would have rathered him go to Arsenal over Tottenham. Tottenham is like, no, you cannot do that. So, no love for Mourinho, no love for Conte no more. That's like, you've lost me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get that because like I would probably be the same way.
Yeah. So. We'll quickly talk about Arsenal.
Oh yeah, you gotta get them in.
They beat
I hate
Watford.
to say it, but Emil Smith-Rowe has scored again. I know we might have jinxed this on the last episode, but yeah, had to hear all about it this morning with our friends.
Yeah,
it is, and yeah, I mean, I think the highlight of the game though was Aubameyang missing a penalty.
Yeah,
Ben Foster with the save.
And just to be fair, like the fact that like yes, Arsenal won and they're on a great run, but they only won 1-0 against Watford.
Yeah.
Watford suck.
And this is what I was saying too last time. Like, okay, you gotta, I'm not saying, oh, they're supposed to lose these easy games because obviously you're supposed to win the games.
Yeah, you gotta win them.
But look at who the wins have come against. It's not like they've beat anyone notable. So obviously to go from playing Watford to Liverpool when the break comes or when the break's over. Like that's a big jump. But like I want to see how they do against like Liverpool. You know, obviously United got killed by them. So I'm not even gonna sit here and be like, oh, like, you know, they're gonna get killed because like my team didn't do well. But you know, I'd like to see how they did against like a top team before I evaluate them.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. They've had a lot of like easy games.
Yeah.
But they have looked like good. You are supposed to look good.
Yeah.
So I guess like I'll give them some credit, but I think it is being a little overblown. Like people do forget that they barely came out alive against Crystal Palace. They deserve to lose that game.
Yeah.
So
and that's one of their unbeaten games, you know, like, oh yeah, we're 6 games unbeaten. But it's like, you know, gotta take it with context. It's like those are against like really bad teams.
Yeah. So like I'm not gonna say they're a top team, and I don't think that they'll remain where they are. But it is kind of crazy right now, where they were at the beginning of the season and where they're sitting now.
United
above you.
Yeah. So
yeah. So
Arsenal, man.
But, yeah. I don't know, man.
Yeah. So do we got to cover anything else, or what do you reckon?
You want to maybe do predictions for big games?
Oh yeah, when the break ends. I mean, I hope this break lasts a very, very long time as a Manchester United fan. But I suppose we will take a look at those games.
Or I guess we could keep up with some international stuff too.
We could. So the break comes back on the 20th of November, which is a while long.
Okay. Yeah.
We could take a look at some international fixtures coming up.
If there's any like big games.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
It's usually one big, like there's Italy, Switzerland. It's usually one big team and one garbage team.
Yeah.
It's, France played Kazakhstan. I don't even want to watch that. I usually watch the France big games. I'm not going to watch France versus Kazakhstan in the World Cup qualifiers. But
we can dive into some Premier League predictions, and there are some decent games.
Yeah, what have we got?
So first, Leicester City versus Chelsea.
Yeah, Leicester have been bad recently. Yeah. I think they just tied Leeds 1-1. So, are we home or away?
I will check right now. It is playing at King Power, so away. Leicester away.
Okay, I'm gonna say 2-0 Chelsea. I think we're gonna bounce back, not concede.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go 2-1 Chelsea. I think Lukaku's gonna get a brace, so I'm assuming he's gonna be back. I'm assuming.
I don't know if he will be.
Like, if he is playing, that's my prediction. If not, then I think I don't know. I could honestly see a 1-1 draw then if Lukaku's not there.
You think we're gonna concede no matter what?
Yeah, I think the Vardy party will get a goal.
All right.
We also got Leeds and Tottenham. You know, two, you know, wouldn't call them big clubs, but two.
Yeah, it's definitely a tie.
Tie.
I'm gonna say 1-1.
Yeah. I'm gonna go 0-0 for that game.
That's perfectly fair too.
Yeah. And then it's a big one. You know, two really bad teams. You got Watford versus Manchester United. Wonder who will.
If you guys don't win that game by at least 2 goals, then Ole has to go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 3-0 United.
Yeah, I'm gonna say. Yeah, I'm gonna go 3-0 United as well. I'll agree.
Okay, so we also have Liverpool and Arsenal that we just mentioned.
I'm gonna go bold.
Oh,
not bold as an Arsenal winning. Oh. I'm gonna say Liverpool 4-0.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna go bold. I think Arsenal will win 2-1.
Really?
You heard it here first. The Arsenal will win 2-1.
Wow.
My bold prediction. And then finally, you know, this one I think should be a walk in the park. But Man City and Everton.
You know. Yeah, Everton are clear. No, Man City 2-0.
You know how Man City always have the game where they have like a 5-0 result? I think that'll be their 5-0 result. It's at home too, so I'm gonna go.
They just look kind of shaky on offense sometimes recently.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna go 5-0 City.
So Lukaku is expected to come back after the international break, but we're not sure if he's going to come back for the Leicester game.
Yeah. So I think if he does play against Leicester, his return will be a brace. But if he doesn't, I'm gonna go 1-1 in that game too.
All right, fair. Yeah, I think we covered everything we need to talk about.
And that was good. So yeah, thank you, Bauds, again for tuning in. Thank you for everyone who made it this far. We enjoy giving you guys these videos. And yeah, stay tuned for our next podcast episode. We're going to be talking about the NBA once again.
All right, yeah. See you, Bods. Go check out our socials and make sure you like and subscribe.
Yes, you know the vibes. Okay, stop that.